Russia will be able to access the internet from orbit thanks to a new Sphere initiative. How crazy is that? Let's take a look at what we can anticipate from the space internet that Russia will receive in today's video, as well as what we can expect from the space internet that Russia will receive. Stay tuned to hear all about space internet from Russia. Comet C 2021-A1, or Leonard, is no exception. However, it should be visible with small telescopes and binoculars, and potentially even weakly to the unassisted eye in the northern hemisphere's pre-dawn sky as it brightens for part of December, and possibly even briefly in the evening sky soon after sunset later in the month. On January 3rd, astronomer Gregory J. Leonard, a senior research specialist at the Mount Lemmon Infrared Observatory in the Santa Catalina Mountains, some 17 miles northeast of Tucson, Arizona, spotted the comet that now bears his name. The comet has been approaching the Sun and Earth since its detection, but it has been a faint entity. Most comets are too weak for amateur telescopes to see, but Comet Leonard will be visible for a brief period in December. To make this pre-Christmas debut, the frosty ball has traveled a long way. The comet was at the far end of its elongated elliptical orbit around 35,000 years ago, about 3,500 astronomical units from the Sun. The Earth's average distance from the Sun is 92,955,807 miles, which is equal to 1 astronomical unit. As Comet Leonard approaches Earth, its brightness should increase dramatically. The second week of December should be the most intriguing for most of us, as it offers the finest compromise between growing brightness and decreasing altitude at dawn. Furthermore, as it will be just after the new moon on December 4th, the sky will be devoid of moonlight. Next, SpaceX's Starlink internet satellites forced to dodge Russian anti-satellite test debris. According to SpaceX CEO Elon Musk, debris from Russia's anti-satellite missile test last month prompted several Starlink internet satellites to dodge in order to prevent in-orbit collisions. The worldwide space community was outraged by Russia's anti-satellite missile launch on November 15th, which destroyed the defunct, almost 2-ton monitoring spacecraft Cosmos 1408 into thousands of pieces. NASA, the European Space Agency, and the Earth Observation Business Planet, among others, made statements criticizing Russia's action as irresponsible and malicious. Until now, SpaceX, the largest satellite operator in the concerned area of orbit, has remained mute. Musk stated that his company's satellites came close to the Russian anti-satellite test debris in response to a Twitter thread about NASA's decision on November 30th to cancel a planned spacewalk due to space debris risk. "We had to shift some Starlink satellite orbits to reduce the probability of collision," Musk said in the tweet. "Not great, but not terrible either. There are currently over 1,800 Starlink satellites in orbit, which circle Earth at an altitude of 340 miles, roughly 50 miles above the orbit of the wrecked Cosmos 1408 satellite. According to experts, satellite operators in the impacted zone will have to undertake twice as many space debris avoidance procedures to keep their spacecraft safe. Let's hope they keep us updated on the mission to see whether it was successful or not." Now, SpaceX grapples with Raptor production problems. Increased production problems with the Raptor engines that power SpaceX's Starship vehicle have resulted in management changes at the corporation, as well as a warning from creator Elon Musk that the company may face bankruptcy if the problems are not resolved. The matter was brought to a head in a November 26th email from Musk to SpaceX staff, in which he warned of a cascading impact on the production crisis of Raptor engines, which might hinder the deployment of the next generation of its Starlink constellation, as well as overall business profitability. Musk's email did not go into detail about the concerns, but his remarks are presumably in reference to Will Heltsley, SpaceX's vice president of propulsion, who just left the company. Heltsley, who had been with SpaceX since 2009 and was vice president of propulsion since 2018, quit due to difficulty scaling up Raptor manufacturing. Musk claimed in the email, which was issued the day after Thanksgiving, that he had planned to take the holiday weekend off, but instead "I will remain on the Raptor line all night and through the weekend," and that he was encouraging business employees to do the same. "Unless you have critical family matters or cannot physically return to Hawthorne, we need all hands on deck to recover from what is, quite frankly, a disaster." SpaceX will need a significant number of Raptor engines for its Starship rocket, which could make its first orbital trip as early as January. Although the Starship vehicle has 6 Raptor engines, the Super Heavy rocket required for orbital missions currently has 29. Let's hope the team can get underway to fix the problem and begin to produce these proper working machines. Now that we've discussed a range of relevant space news that is currently circulating the media and news, it's now time to get into the real reason you clicked on this video. Like, how on earth is Russia using space for their internet from 2024? And let's look into why Kamala Harris is calling for new international rules for space after Russia blows up a satellite. Stay tuned to find out all the information regarding these stories. Next up, Russia to get internet from space in 2024. According to Dmitry Rogozin, the CEO of Russia's state-run space corporation Roscosmos, the Sphere initiative will allow Russia to access the internet from orbit. If the progress is as we plan, the country will get the internet from space in 2024, Rogozin said. According to the top management, the state-run firm has already received the first money under the program for research and technological initiatives. initiatives. In the coming year, 7 billion rubles, or $95.1 million US dollars, will be allocated to the Sphere program. The Sphere initiative will be funded with 7 billion rubles next year, with a portion of that amount going towards the SCIF medium orbit broadband access system and the Marathon IoT M2M worldwide data transmission system. According to Rogozin, one that will be launched next year and the other in 2023. The remaining money should be used to purchase launch vehicles in preparation for the Express RV satellite communication constellation's withdrawal in 2024. Roscosmos should design the launch vehicle, and the Ministry of Digital Development, Communications and Mass Media shall fund the vehicles. The Sphere program arose from Roscosmos and RSC Energy's Ether Communication System project, according to Anton Zhiganov, Roscosmos' executive director for business development. The Ether system, which consists of 300 satellites and has a capacity of 10 million subscribers, was anticipated to cost 300 billion rubles in total, which was including investments. It was created to compete with the worldwide communications networks OneWeb and Starlink. Satellites for the Sphere will be quite sophisticated. During a direct line with Russian President Vladimir Putin in 2018, Putin described the Sphere project as a breakthrough program in space exploration. This most definitely will be a breakthrough part of space exploration and use. What will come next? Knows. Next, Harris calls for new international rules for space after Russia blows up satellite. On Wednesday, U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris said Russia's irresponsible act of blowing up one of its satellites last month necessitates a more rigorous global effort to develop standards of behavior in space to preserve national security and defend burgeoning commerce. By blasting debris across space, this irresponsible act endangered the satellites of other nations as well as astronauts in the International Space Station, Harris said, in convening the inaugural meeting of the National Space Council under her leadership. We must demand responsibility from all spacefaring nations, she added. We must expand rules and norms on safety and security, on transparency and cooperation to include military, commercial, and civil space activity. Following Russia's move, which resulted in thousands of pieces of debris posing new threats in an increasingly congested low Earth orbit, calls have emerged for improved space system security. Harris's words, which were her first public comments on the subject since the November 15th test, were echoed in a new space priority framework she unveiled on Wednesday ahead of the council meeting. It pledges to improve the security and resilience of space systems that deliver or support vital infrastructure in the United States against hostile acts and natural calamities. Let's keep a watch on Vice President Harris's calls to determine if they're effective. And there you have it, all the latest space news that is currently circulating the media and internet. Space travel and the use of space are becoming so much more common now, and this is going to expand even more when Russia can get their internet from space. Let us know your thoughts down below. Would you travel to space? And what does the future have in store for us if we are already accessing space for this kind of stuff? We hope you enjoyed today's video, and thanks for watching.